cackled. "Why, I am the bride's mother, Lady Cecily de Monmouth." Kit wanted to protest. Her mother was Alice Cousy, dead since 2 months back. Grief tore at her, and she turned her face towards the wall, not wanting these strangers to see the tears welling in her eyes. "I know all about your whore of a mother," Lady Cecily said. "My husband's great love, no less." She sounded bitter. "But at least his bastard will come in handy." Kit tugged at her bindings. "I am no bastard." "What lies has little Alice told you? That your father is dead? That he abandoned her to pursue a religious vocation?" Kit flushed. "My father is my husband, Thomas de Monmouth. My husband, do you hear?" "But—" Kit slumped back against the thin pillow. For most of her 18 years she'd heard her mother's sad story, how 2 young lovers fled their irate parents, exchanged their vows before a priest, and hoped for an eternity together, except that her father had died of a fever. She didn't understand. Life as she knew it was caving in on top of her, all at the say-so of this unknown woman. "You lie," she tried. "I most certainly do not," Lady Cecily said. Kit closed her eyes to avoid that penetrating light blue gaze. She suspected the lady was telling the truth. Every question Kit had ever asked about her father had been met with an evasion, or the sad tale of star-crossed lovers as trotted out by her mother. When she'd taken her questions to John or to Mal, they had looked discomfited and referred to her mother. A hand on her shoulder shook her hard. "No time for all that now. Those dolts I sent to abduct you took their time getting you here, and we have urgent matters at hand. First and foremost, your impending wedding. Mabel, call for a bath. The child is revoltingly dirty." "No." Kit raised her chin and stared Lady Cecily in the eye, summoning what little courage she had. "I'll not wed on your say-so." "No? Oh, I think yes." Lady Cecily's eyes were of a sudden far too close, filled with such menace Kit flinched. "If you don't, I will have you thrown out of Tressens and publicly branded a bastard." "Tressens? It's my home." "It was deeded to your mother for life, and she is quite dead, isn't she?" Lady Cecily smirked. "You have nowhere to go, little Kit, is it? But here you'll respond to the full version of the name you share with your sister, Katherine." "A sister?" Kit gaped. Lady Cecily smiled wickedly. "What? You didn't know you had a true-born half-sister, a girl who looks just like you?" She laughed as she straightened up to her full height. "So, what will it be? Destitution or marriage?" Kit wanted to say destitution. She wanted to snarl and spit in Lady Cecily's face, accuse her of abduction even. But she knew it would be futile. Women like Lady Cecily had power and wealth on their side. Kit had nothing. She swallowed a sob. "If you say no, I will evict every single one of the tenants as well," Lady Cecily said, effectively nailing down the lid on what felt very much like a coffin. "And if I say yes?" "If you say yes, your father will include Tressens in your dowry." Kit was trapped. She knew it. Lady Cecily knew it. She acquiesced with a single nod. Lady Cecily patted her cheek. "Good girl." "Why?" Kit asked Mabel once they were alone. She rubbed at her wrists, at her ankles, and studied herself with dismay. Lady Cecily was right. She was covered in grime, and from the state of her kirtle she'd been sleeping in it for days. Mabel gave her a vague smile, motioning for her to stand up. "Why do they need me to marry this Adam?" "Ah, well, my lamb decided not to," Mabel chuckled, relieving Kit of one garment after the other. "Your lamb?" Kit bit back on a snort. "Your namesake, little Katherine," Mabel sighed. "That one has no sense of self-preservation." There was a knock on the door, and Mabel hurriedly wrapped a sheet around Kit. Moments later the room filled with men carrying a tub and a stream of water boys, bringing